Oh, hey y'all, listen, this is a office plant tour. So if y'all aren't familiar, I have, let me just move out of the way, a lot of plants just at my work desk. There's some on the side. And yeah, I'm just gonna show you all my plants in my office. So this is my Monstera Constellation. You can see that the old leaves are going and she's doing okay. I think she pushed out this leaf first. And then that one, she's living in Lashusa Pond, and you can see the roots. Look at this. All that rootage. You can see that she's trying to escape. You can see the aerial roots are going off, and I definitely need to repot it. But I just want to start off with just an amazing plant in this office. Oh my gosh, I didn't even show you. I was gonna say, that's so funny. I was gonna move on, but look at this new leaf. Now, I will be talking about the conditions. Just briefly, I would say it is a lot different than my place. It's a lot drier here. I think the maximum relative humidity is about 50%. In the wintertime, it's like 20 to 30% humidity. So I haven't really tried anthuriums in here during the wintertime. Fingers crossed they'll do okay because they haven't lived here during the winter. So humidity is ranging from 20% to 50%. In the winter months, it is 20%, summer months closer to 50%, and it just kind of slides between that range, I guess. Temperature, it's always warm in here. It's always 70 to 74 degrees Fahrenheit. It never goes below 70. It never goes above 75. The grow lights. These are grow lights. A lot of people think this is the lighting that already was there, but I actually did manage to hang two Sunblaster LED grow lights. They're the grow lights that I personally prefer. They are a bit harsh, but I've always had luck with them, so I use them all the time. And specifically Hoyas, they're totally cool with them. Sometimes when you're looking at Monsteras, Anthuriums specifically, Philodendrons, sometimes they bleach the leaf, the Sunblaster LED grow lights. And so you just kind of need to play around with the distance. And sometimes you could only achieve that by just watching the plant grow and just assessing from there. I also have introduced this Burle grow light. I'll leave the links in the description below. I love these lights just because they are standing grow lights, as you can see. And this one, because I'm not that experienced with it, I had to adjust distances, and you'll see a lot of bleaching in a lot of the leaves of the plants over here. I'm just gonna go down so you can see, ooh, Monstera, just a regular small form, Thai Constellation strawberry shake, and there are some anthuriums behind here. Before, I had this really close, but I'm seeing a lot of bleaching, so I am keeping this grow light a lot further now. So just making those adjustments. These grow lights are on for 14 hours a day, and I don't know why I chose 14 hours. I just went with 14 and then just kept it that way. When it comes to watering habits, because I'm only part-time here at the hospital, I only water my plants once a week just because that's the only time I have. I water my plants during my break. And because a lot of my plants, I want to say 95% of my plants have self-watering planters here, they can use up the reservoir. A week is enough that they won't be bone dry at the end of it. And my fertilization, I would say every 2 months, a month to 2 months. And I feel like that is the biggest difference when it comes to my plants that live at home. I generally fertilize my plants at home every 2 weeks, like a light fertilization. And obviously the plants in Leca, you change the nutrient solution every 2 weeks. But here, it's like a month to 2 months. So quite different. They're getting less feed. Because of that, I don't know if you saw with the Thai Constellation, this video is all over the place. With the Thai Constellation, you saw that the leaves at the bottom were starting to yellow. Truly believe that's because I haven't been feeding these plants as often as the ones at home. I thought I'd do the conditions first because I think, I just want to paint a picture. I guess we'll jump into the plants. So mainly Hoyas here, but I guess we'll just pick the plants and I'll show them to you. But this is my space. I am so excited to have all these plants here. Like, it is amazing. And I actually did film an office plant tour, I think 3-4 months ago. So I might include clips. This is a newer edition. I know she looks bleached. Still so gorgeous. I love the lack of sinus. So she's in this planter of pond. I do have a dog bowl that is being the reservoir. Moss pole. This plant might look a little sad, and that's because if y'all remember, I took a top cutting. I put that top cutting in tree fern. The bottom part of this plant had a lot of leaves, but I just decided to keep one. And then I just decided to bring it to my office. So this is one of the older leaves. I am happy to say. You can't really see it, but there are a couple of growth points right there that is brand new. And there's another one on the other side. So we're just gonna have Forgetii here. And so yeah, Anthurium Forgetii. One of my favorite anthuriums. I just love the roundness. And again, she would be like a deeper green if it was one of the newer leaves. And because this is an older leaf, because I'm actually putting this up against my Sunblaster LED Grow lights, it has now turned this color. And I do this every time I propagate. I don't really care about the leaf, like the older leaves. I'm just looking forward to like the newer growth, the newer roots. And so I kind of like sacrifice this leaf, but she's still gorgeous in my opinion. Okay, side note, everyone say hi to Ralph. This is Ralph. Oof, y'all. Hoya Bella.
May I have your attention, please?
Hoya Bella Lida Buis. So I do have another one at home. And I'm actually so shocked to see the amount of growth. There are some blooms. Y'all know that the Bella is known for just blooming so much. So look at that. But this Hoya is probably getting a lot less light than my other plants. As you can see, the real estate, like when you have grow lights that are just like a single bar, the range is like not as big. So she's actually living right here. At the bottom, there's lots of plants blocking the view, but she's doing just great. And she's been like that for a while. Oh, they're so pretty. So pretty. So living in Lashuza Pond, like I said previously, self-watering planter. And because the plant has grown so much, because it's so warm in here, I've had to fill up the reservoir a lot. These ones tend to dry out quicker just because there's just a lack of reservoir, I would say. And because I find that the Hoya Bella is just so thirsty. So that's the Hoya Bella. Also, don't mind me, in between all of these, I need to water my plants. So I have a bed. It's not, I was gonna say bedpan. It's not, it's like a basin. So I'm just taking plain water and I'm just filling up the reservoirs for a lot of these plants. One of my favorites that I might bring home, this is my Hoya Nova Ghost. So she's kind of all over the place. I kind of have her trailing. She's doing so well. So I had one at home on a trellis. I don't think I've said it here, but unfortunately that one suffered root rot. And I'll talk about this more in the future. But ever since I use Coppert's nematodes to treat the fungus gnats have disappeared. But I've noticed that if I put a lot of the liquid into the reservoir, it can cause root rot. And I don't know exactly what happened. Anyways, long story short, it caused root rot. And so this is the only one I have now. And like, it's so special. It's wild because ever since I brought her here, the leaves, these are new leaves, and they look so fantastic. Trying to differentiate. Yeah, so this set is a new set over here, and then if you pan this way, look at these two leaves. They're so pretty. Cause I want to show you. Look at this vine. This was present before I brought it. And then look at, I don't know, the leaf is bigger. Over here, it's more silver. And another one over here, look at this vine. So, like, question is, oh my God, wait, look at these leaves. Ooh. Okay, question is, oh my God, look at this one, I just saw it. Look at this gigantic one. Do you see the leaves previously are not as silver? So question is, I said this so many times, do these just like, you know, more consistent conditions? Because y'all know my conditions at home, they just fluctuate so much. Really cold, like down to 60 sometimes degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know. It's really done so well here. There's a leca drop. I don't know if you heard it. It's done so well here, and I'm so happy. I'll either take cuttings or I might bring this one home. Like it's such a gorgeous silver Hoya. Moving on to more silver, I guess. The Hoya Polyneura Broguette. So this one was a lot smaller. I mean, she started out as, I don't know if y'all remember, but I did take a lot of cuttings and then I just shoved them into this container here. It's funny because on the screen, they don't look as silver. And I would say that this is less silver than the one that I have at home. And you could see that sometimes, or some of them, the silver is leaving them. Like, do you see that? It's there still. Because I put so many together, they like were crushed against each other, and that's why it looks kind of wonky. But also, like, I have her in a place where she's just against all the leaves. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how this grows. Okay, we're staying on the theme of silver, Hoya Coriacea silver. Now, I don't think I saw this leaf. Do you see this leaf, everyone? Are you kidding? Wow, okay, like, I don't know if you could see, but this plant's dehydrated. Like, the leaves are thin as is, and I find that thinner-leafed Hoyas, you do need to not feed them, you just need to water them more. And yeah, it's definitely one of the plants that I have to water the most. And I'll show you, the reservoir is empty, nothing in here. And thankfully, there's some moisture still, so you can see this healthy root system. And because the root system is in the reservoir, the plant is taking up more water than the other plants. And so I do need to just fill up the reservoir. What I've noticed compared to the one that I had at home, the leaves aren't as thick. You could definitely feel it in the leaves. I think it's because I haven't met this plant as often. Again, this is something that's so different. Even for my plants in leca here, I probably bring in nutrient solution every month or every 2 months. And every in-between watering, I do just put water in here. And so if y'all don't know, like, leca doesn't have any nutrition for the plant. Really gorgeous. There's 2 plants in here, so 1 and 2. And they're just kind of going up the trellis. These leaves look super impressive. And there's different degrees of splash. You can see here. Ooh. There are some leaves that are going. Again, they're older leaves. This is an older leaf too, over here. And because this was an older leaf, like, I can feel the difference. This leaf is so much thicker, even though she's going, than the other leaves. Like, I definitely see the difference, and maybe I'll change my feeding habits. Actually, take that back because we're going to fall and winter, so I might just like keep it the way it is. Do you see how beautiful this I know she's all over the place, but do you see this? And you can see that there's new leaves here. Look at that. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. So pretty. I can't get over this leaf though. I don't think I really saw it until now. Wow, okay. And I got this plant as like, I think it was 2 cuttings from Marnie. Marnie girl, I'm so thankful that you had this plant to like give to me. I'm so thankful. Okay, am I gonna continue with the silver Hoyas? I think we're just gonna keep doing silver Hoyas. Just so happy with this one. And I don't know, it's pushed out a few, I think it's pushed out a few leaves that are so gorgeous. And so, Hoya Silver Dollar. Look at that. I mean, I have one at home in Lashuza Pond. This one's living in leca, and I think the roots look, you see. I want to highlight, because this is the top part, and this is the part where it's pushed out the new leaves. So I think the 4 that you see here are new leaves. So 1, 2, and then this one is a bit wonk, but look at, oh, do you see how shiny this is? It's my favorite part with this plant. It just like, juicy pear, jelly belly. Anyone? I've said that before, but like, I think the shade of green is different. Do you see this? It looks like it's shellac. Like, it looks so shiny. I think the majority of the other leaves, no, I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure this one's new too. I mean, you can see the difference. Let's just do a little pad of all these beautiful, beautiful leaves here. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I really was so curious about blooming when it came to this plant, but I think because I haven't been feeding the plants, it hasn't bloomed once. It has multiple peduncles, and y'all know that this plant has bloomed for me. Future Kevin, put in a picture if you have it. I love these flowers. They're, I want to say tie-dye. It's not quite tie-dye, but it's like different shades of pink and purple, I think. It's so pretty. It's one of my favorite Hoyas. I just love, I think my favorite part is when they come out like, are you joking? So when it comes to like the rate of growth and comparing it to the one that I have at home in pond, they just need a huge root system, and y'all saw the root system in the reservoir. It's been like that for so long, and I always say with Hoyas, just see how they do. You never know. There's some Hoyas that absolutely hate it, and the roots will just rot. But this one is doing quite, well, in my opinion. And so unless I see any rot and things change, I know the roots look like a different shade of brown, but they're healthy. Okay, I think, ooh, you're already latching on to something. Oh, I broke it. Oh well. Okay, this is the last silvery Hoya. I have one at home on a trellis in Leca, and this one is far superior when it comes to how it looks. This is the Hoya Wilbur Graves. Do you see? All of this. All of this. Look, there's so many leaves. I never thought I would have a Wilbur Graves trailing this way because I really preferred the trellis one. And I think in a future video, like I am going to chop that one up and just propagate it in pond. And I think it's because I like the trailing look. It's so pretty. Do you see how silver? This is another plant at the same time I got from Marnie. Look at this. Yeah, so it is super stunning. I'm in love with it. And like the vast majority of these leaves, it pushed it out here. It's just everything. Like this plant is everything. Let's get it like a close up of all of these. Oh, what? Like, come on. Like are you kidding? Look at this. And obviously you have ones that have more green than others and more silver than others. And it's oh my gosh, guys, seriously, it's so gorgeous. So I want to stress this though. I don't have this like at the edge of the desk and they're hanging this way. It's facing this way and the vines are being supported by the other planters, the other plants. It's getting a lot of light. And because of the support, I think that's why it's pushed out all of these leaves. And yeah, so thrilled. Wow, 5 silvery Hoyas in a row. We're not done with the silver though. I need to, guys, this plant, and maybe another one that I'll show you, but this plant I'm the most excited for. Scindapsus Silver Hero. I got this a year and a half maybe, and I propagated it and it didn't do a thing. I brought it into my office and then she started going off. She's stuck right now. This is not getting a lot of light. She is under the grow light, but there's so many. They're just, look at all these leaves. And I really just want to unravel it. This is insane. I need to unravel it because y'all need to see how long this vine is. And every time I go to water it, I just kind of loop the tendril around because I want it to be like supported since there's no like pull or anything to climb on. But like I'm going to unravel this. You can see that the leaves are getting smaller. And I think, again, it might be feed just because all the leaves have stayed on. Guys, look. I can't even show the whole thing, but look at this vine. I'm all the way back here. And look at this. It's pushed out so many leaves and like really beautiful ones. On top of that, there's different offshoots. So this is one over here. And then there's another one over here. Look at that, that's a newer one. So I just have to take this vine and I just need to like do the same thing. Kind of keeping it together because there's no room on my desk anymore. And it's just always a treat like seeing these plants. I'm just wrapping, guys. I'm so sorry y'all can't even see anything, but my arm was getting tired. Oh, I need to like stress this also. I'm not filming this during work hours. It is the end of the day. Everyone's gone home. And I just decided to film. Moving on to a Polyneura, the outer variegated. Look at this. So again, one of my planters, I took just so many cuttings. You could actually see in the camera that this is getting blasted with the light. And although it's not, it's not really bleach, you can see that it is a lighter green. These leaves are just kind of, they either have a planter from a different plant on this side. So you can see the richer, darker greens over here compared to here. Do you see that? It's just incredible, this plant. So this is my bigger one. I do have a second one in here. This is kind of crazy. And she's a little smaller. Do you see this? So she's still, you know, a little babes. It's weird because I don't know if I took these from like a younger part of a vine, but this one, the leaves seem a lot thinner and the vines seem a lot more fragile compared to the other one. I kind of want to just do a side by side because, girl, ooh, this one's heavier. So yeah, my Polyneura outer variegateds are here. My gosh. Yeah, so I don't know if this one is because I haven't fertilized it more. I know this one I had longer and I was feeding it longer when I was at home, so I don't know if the pod is just hanging on to a lot of those good nutrients. So, I don't know. My Hoya Patchawawalai 023. Look at this beauty. Oh. See, remember I said in a previous video that I've had this plant for a while, it's bloomed so much, and the reason why I just could not like have this plant at home anymore is because the flowers, they drip a lot, and it's just too much. So Future Kevin, I think this bloomed here for the first time, which is so exciting. And like the thing I like about these leaves, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a black margin on a lot of them. Do you see that there's a black outline? This is one of the newer leaves. Look at that. I just love it. I've just been looping the leaves around. Again, I would say that these leaves at the top are newer. I'm really happy with it. Look at this. It's doing really well. And I think it's different here when it comes to like the flowering because, again, I'm not feeding it as often. And so I think that's why it's only given me like one set of blooms. But like when this plant was in LECA for me, it bloomed constantly that I just had to keep cleaning the sap from all the surfaces. And so, I mean, I didn't want to get rid of this plant. It's still one I love. Hoya CB Patchawawalai 023. Monstera Burle Marx Flame. People are always shocked when they see that I have this plant at work. And I mean, I have so many at home. And it really just excites me so much to watch plants grow in different conditions. And you know, again, it's the temperature's more consistent here. I'm feeding it less, so it's gonna be interesting. Just pulling off, this is from the mother leaf, like it was a single node propagation, and I just cut it off. This is living Lucius pond. I'm pretty sure the roots are already in the reservoir. Let's take a look together. Yes, so they did branch a little bit. Monstera Burle Marx Flame roots, they are thicker though, like you can see over here. And I think just because, you know, the holes at the bottom are small, like it looks like that. And it is like a smaller, younger plant. So for those who are asking, I think she had this leaf when I brought her here. Then she pushed out this one, then this one, and then finally the lobster claw. So the fourth leaf is the one with the first one with fenestrations. It's going to be interesting to see how this does without a boss pole. And it'll do okay for a bit, but eventually it's going to need that support. Obviously you can see the roots are in the reservoir, and like unlike Hoyas, I do prefer having plants upsized, like pot-wise, just because the roots are so big. They're so thick. And so maybe I'll repot it, but I'm just curious. You can see that the internodes are quite long and compared to down here. We'll see. I am so happy that the claw's here. It's like the best. It's the best leaf, everyone. It's the best leaf. Okay, and I want to say so far, like the majority of the plants that I showed you, they're not right under the grow light. They're kind of on the second row. So they get like a bit of an angle of the light. They're not getting the full blast of the Sunblaster LED Grow light. So I would say they're probably getting medium light. It depends on where the leaf is though. So for example, the Burle Marx Flame, although a lot of the smaller, younger leaves are getting probably medium light, I know that the newer leaf is like, you know how plants are. Their leaves will just like turn to the light. So that's what the newer leaves are doing. So I would say those leaves are getting bright and direct light, and therefore the plant is getting bright and direct light. Plants that are lower down like the Polyuneras are probably just getting medium light because they're not as close. This next plant is similar to the Wilbur Graves, where I have to just put the tendrils and vines on top of the other plants, and thankfully They're smaller leaves. This is the Hoya Chinghungensis. Do you see this? The funny thing about this plant is that I took so many cuttings, but only 6 of them started growing, and like some faster than others. So you can see, look at this. Look at that. And then if we get closer, we can see the leaf. Oh my God, they're so pretty. Do you see this? Absolutely stunning. So this one here hasn't bloomed for me. I do want to show again, there's so many leaves down here that are dead, and they're from like the propagations. So again, a lot of the propagations didn't make it, and I still to this day do not know why, because yeah, like you can see that the other ones did okay. Look at them dance, looking back on the memory of the days we shared. Garth Brooks, everyone. That's the most iconic song by him. But yeah, Chinghungensis. I just, like some leaves you have down there, do you see? More cream than others. And I found that like this plant can revert to just cream, and like in my opinion, I just like cut them off because it really slows down the plant. But yeah, I mean the leaves are surprisingly thick, and even like the tendril or like the stem tendril situation. Look at this. Oh. And it's funny that these ones are like so much smaller. Like why? It's so funny to me. So again, I have to put the tendrils on top of other plants just to support it, but also so they get enough light, because this one is again on the second row, but because these vines are under the grow light, I would say that it's getting bright indirect light. Obviously these ones, because they're separate plants, they're not getting as much light, so I would say medium light, and I guess that's why it's like this. So Hoya Chinghungensis, I think guess outer variegated, I don't know. Okay, sorry guys, I need to take a pause. I just remembered that it's fantasy football. There's a game today. Okay, Bijan Robinson. Let's go. Okay. Hoya cinnamomifolia purpureofusca. So, I had a little bit of an accident. If you follow me on Instagram, y'all know. I've had this plant for 3 years. It's never bloomed for me. Again, there's a situation where I rotted the roots because I was just ignoring it. And then I propagated it. It took its time. And then it finally pushed a peduncle. It developed. Ow! Oh my God. It attacked me. Oh my God. You know, sometimes I'm so thankful that I have contacts, because the contacts actually protect, you know, the direct poke into the eyeball. I was taking a reel, but I broke the whole thing. Do y'all see how beautiful the flowers are? So the first time it's bloomed for me in the 3 years that I've had it, and then I broke it off. Look at the roots, everyone. I smelled something weird, and I was so scared it was root rot. No. I wonder what that smell is, though. It smells, it's not quite rot related, but I was just kind of scared. But look at these. They're so healthy. Living in pond, doing its thing. I still smell it. Did I like fart and not know? Okay, may I reintroduce one of the OGs of my collection. This was probably the first or second Hoya I've ever had. Hoya Australis Lisa. Y'all know. This plant was massive. You can see she's actually like this tall. Because I don't have any support, she just kind of goes down like this. It's easier to show anyways. But she was a massive plant, and it wasn't that I was sick of it. I obviously still have it, so it's not like I was tired of it. I just needed to start over and start a new journey. Really, 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 really gorgeous. Oh, I can't wait for this. I think it's gonna bloom. I think this plant's gonna bloom. There's already peduncles and everything. Well, there's only like 2 peduncles, but like, that's super exciting. I'm so excited for this one. I know she doesn't really look like much. Oh, she's pretty. This is the, oh my God, what's the name? I love how I was like, I'm so excited. I don't even know the name. It's a UT variety. I just don't know what number. So Hoya UT something. I just found a dead leaf. It's one of the older leaves, but look at the new leaves look so good. There is like some freckling. Is that a term that you should use, freckling? It's grown so much. I've had to loop all the tendrils around, and now she's like this little bush. It's so cute. She's looking good. It's only bloomed for me once. They're like fuzzy, like they're really fuzzy. That is her. So happy I still have her. Okay, I'm actually babysitting this plant. It was once mine. But it is a Philodendron Florida Ghost. Whoa, throwback. Okay, so I gifted this to my friend, and she was living in her office for a little bit. So this plant still has old leaves that existed when I first had it. So you can see the ghost-like situation here. Obviously, it looks like she needs a little bit of support. If it wants to focus, there we go. There is a pencil in here. This mix is so old. Like, it's like 2020. Do you see this? It's like 2020 mix where there's so much bark, so much charcoal. I think it needs to be repotted and needs fertilization. I have fertilized it since, and you could kind of see the difference. Like, look, I am babysitting it. So it's been sitting on my desk. And at my desk, I said it's 14 hours a day. Where it lived previously, it was only getting, I would say, maybe 8 hours, because that's how long the shift is. I think because she's getting more light, oh, hey Maria, it's okay. Because of that, it's doing its thing over here. And yeah, I mean, I was planning to put it in tree fern. I think that is a good plan, and then putting some support. And I think because she's gone too long and doesn't have that support, the leaves are smaller. That, along with like the old substrate and like not being fertilized as much and not having as much light. It's so nice to have this plant again, because like I haven't had this plant since 2021. And the only plant that's left, because I gave another one to my mom and that's dead, is this one, this Florida Ghost. It was at one point one of my favorite plants, and I'm so happy that it's still here with one of my best friends. Like, it's just crazy. I love it. Okay, I lied so hard because I forgot I have a Mathilde splash here. So again, a silvery type Hoya-ish, kind of. I think I'm just gonna let it grow, but I'm doing that thing. She looks more full than she actually is. See, I think it's 2 vines, and they're this long over here. Do you see? Gorgeous. And there's some offshoots. There's some that are green. Like, do you see that? Again, I think I might just leave it. And then there's another green vine here. So I'm not sure if this planter was just specimens that were less splashy that I propagated. Yeah, that's her. She's doing so good. Where there's Hoya Mathilde with splash, there's just regular Hoya Mathilde. So I mentioned in the video that every time there's a green vine that comes out, I'm just taking off this dead leaf here. Again, one of the old leaves, probably one of the leaves that existed when I propagated it. But when I eliminate those green vines, there's a certain period of time in my life where I was just propagating them in these planters. Again, they're easy to root. They grow pretty fast when you give it what they need, that I have gifted so many. So this is the last green one that I have. Most recently, I gifted one to a psychiatrist here. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's self-watering planter and fine. You just need to look at the indicator here. I think it's doing well. That was so recent. That was like 2 weeks ago that he took the plant. My other coworker has one. My mom, like, I've given away this plant so much. And that's why in that video, when it came to whether deciding to save the vines or not, I didn't, because I've just preserved the plant enough. I am super excited because this plant wasn't doing well. There was a lot of issues. Hoya Thomsonii. I had to take out a lot of the plant, unfortunately. I actually don't know what happened. It was a mixture of like not getting enough light and then getting blasted, so a lot of the leaves got so bleached. Yeah, but this is a new set. So yeah, I'm kind of babysitting this plant because I gave this to a coworker here, getting it back to where it needs to be. I took cuttings, I brought them home, put them in tree fern. That one hasn't done a thing, which to me is shocking because I kept this one living in pond. I potted them at the same time. See, and this is why I like pond so much for Hoyas. This one, do you see all these tendrils and the new leaves? This one, and a lot of these are new. Like, look at that small leaf over there. There's so much crowding and new leaves over here. And look, the one at home in tree fern is not at this stage, even though I potted them at the same time. Same planters. Yeah, I'm so excited that this one is growing really quickly. I'm so sad. I was actually trying to film this video last week, and last week there were 3 peduncles that were in bloom. I unfortunately didn't get a picture. In this office, it's bloomed multiple times, and y'all already know that she is a super fast grower. Hoya crassipetulata with splash. Now you can see the bleaching. Do you see the bleaching? I really wanted to favor blooms, and you can see that it's not terrible, but obviously we don't want that to, like, when there's a new leaf, like we don't want a new leaf like right under a grow light, because sometimes it can be too much. So yeah, you can see that all that is bleached. Living in leca. Maybe that's why the leaves are yellow, because the one that I have at home is under super bright light. Or when I had this one at home, super bright light. Because I change the nutrients like every 2 weeks, it was okay. I'm scared to look. Okay, the roots look okay. Look at that. Does need watering though. It's funny because a lot of these plants, I don't know if the plants just know. The plants are living things, they just know that fall is here, because the past 2 weeks I've noticed that I haven't like needed to fill up the reservoir. Whereas like all the months in the summer, if it was a week from the watering, it would be almost bone dry. Okay, don't laugh at this next one. Look at this strawberry shake. Okay, out of nowhere, this vine, and she's like too close to the grow light. This plant starts to tower over these little babies. But do you see how like sometimes it's frustrating with strawberry shakes? Like if the mother leaves are super variegated, they can't generate enough energy. This one's right under a grow light, and it's just, maybe the Hoyas are just towering over it. Oh my god, I'm gonna make a mess. Sorry, Maria. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it. I was kind of disappointed because I really thought this planter was gonna give me a lot of variegation. Instead, it gave me this Jack and the Beanstalk and a little village of plants here. That's her. I do want to pull my other one, which is actually in front of my Burina grow light. Everyone thinks the strawberry shake is dying. Like everyone has asked, is this plant okay? Like I ran to a patient in the elevator who's like, oh, let me guess, you're rehabbing this plant. I'm like, no, it just looks like that. But this one's more variegated. I don't know if I said it here, but reversion, the house down, boots maman. And so I took cuttings from the top and I would try to cut them to the most, you know, variegated looking leaf. And it has pushed out new leaves, but it's just like at different nodes. Yeah, everyone thinks this plant is dying. Everyone, she's doing okay. She's just kind of starting over because she doesn't have that top part to push out growth. And yeah, strawberry shake, listen, the plant's fine. If you have a good specimen, just hold on to it. Do not chop it. I think that was my mistake. I just like really was obsessed with it that I wanted so many. And that's another reason why I don't want to cut this back, because I think the variegation is pretty good. So that is my second strawberry shake, living right in front of the grow light, probably getting bright and dark light. Silver Lady, what's up girl? Or Xiaojie 003. Yeah, I mean, look at her. She's kind of a mess. Look at these new leaves though. I love when they first come out and they have this like more metallic look. I don't know if y'all experience that, because sometimes when you look at the plant, you don't really see silver, but then the new leaves, they really show that metallic silver. And still, the one at home, this one. This is one of the Hoyas that I have not gotten to bloom yet, even though they've been so full. But yeah, Hoya Xiaojie 003 over here. Okay, I might start talking faster. I don't know. So I was talking with my boyfriend, and we actually live very close. We don't live close to each other. We live together. We work close to each other. And he actually messaged me saying that he's still at work. So I'm like, can we walk home together? That'd be so much fun. Okay, so I might go a little faster. Man, Hoya Latifolia. This is a show-stopping plant. Oh my god. It's getting so heavy because of all these leaves. Do you see? So if y'all remember, I have a Latifolia Snow Queen. And the Snow Queen, I have chopped up so much. I have 2 planters that are living in Leca right now. The green leaves, because it's the same thing as like the Mathilde Splash, I cut off and like I put into one planter of pon and I just let it grow. Beautiful plant. Look at these. Ooh, it almost broke. Look at these. My one regret is putting it in this tiny planter. I love how every video I talk about how I absolutely hate these. And it's because the reservoir is so small, especially when the roots grow into the reservoir, it's just like too small. The dry cycle, it's too long and the roots dry out too much that like when you rehydrate the root system, you get these black dots. And it's not the end of the world, but I just want to, I guess there's not many. Look at that. My little babes, my little babes. Do you see how unstable this is? Oh, Lord Jesus. I actually gave a top cutting, gave it to a colleague of mine. It's almost doing better than this one. This is the Phalaenopsis mini Mark. So I think ever since I brought her here, I think she only pushed out this leaf and then she's working on one here. So smaller than before. Again, I don't know if it's like feed related. This Phal is like a really frequent bloomer. The root looks okay in here. The mini Mark is a Phal that I always recommend because like it produces just cute blooms. Oh my gosh, okay. I kind of feel like at this point, my body's on survival mode because y'all, I think it's been 24 hours since I last ate. I'm intermittent fasting again. I feel okay. Hoya species getting. So I actually have this tendril pinned to, not the vine, but like I have it kind of wedged. It's hard to explain against a pin. Yeah, that's her. The funny thing about this plant is that the propagations are doing so much better than this one. Hoya Forgetii. So I took cuttings and she's pushed out a couple leaves, like this is new over here, and a tendril. But the one at home, this is what I'm saying. If your plants are doing poorly, just do propagations. Like they just need that release of oxygen, the growth of newer, healthier roots. And a lot of the time they do better than their parents. It is wild. Okay, y'all, don't yell. Oh, okay, one is bouncing back. This one doesn't look great. They're tangled. Hoya Chinghungensis. You know what? If I didn't tell y'all about what I'm going to tell y'all of what happened, you probably wouldn't even see the difference. But Future Kevin put in a picture. So I took this picture. I thought it'd be cute to put the Chinghungensis as it is on the top shelf here, just for the picture. I left for a week, and so these had a full reservoir because I just watered the plants, like of water. There was water in here, and it wasn't getting light. And I think there was a lot of root death. She's like started like not doing well, and specifically this one. I don't know if it's because it's a bigger one. Maybe I just need to take cuttings to again initiate, you know, the hormones to be like, oh no, we got to push out new growth. I don't know, because this one's smaller and this one's actually doing better. Had these previously in medium light, but because they were doing poorly, I've pushed them against the grow light. And the same as the other vining ones, I have the vines over a lot of the plants. Okay, I'm actually not going to move them. I'm just gonna bring y'all to it. So let me just do a woo, woo. Okay, got you my hands, everyone. Flip you over. Okay, so my Aglaonema over here is again one that was gifted from my boyfriend's family. It's very special to me. There is a lot of leaf death, and it was pushing out so many inflows. Oh my god, I can't even remove it. Okay. So goodbye and thank you. Again, it's one of the older leaves, so that's fine. Living English is a pond and a self-watering planter there. And I think there's 3 plants in here. Doing so well. She's in this corner, and the grow light's like there, so she's not getting the full blast. That's gonna bring me to the plant over here. Y'all thought I got rid of her. Syngonium Pink Splash. Look at, well, there's a few plants, but look at this one. Look at this beautiful pink. Are you kidding? Look at this new leaf over here. What? So you can see that this, oh my god, this is all pink. Wow. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this vine, but you can see all the leaves are doing so well. Look at that. I am just obsessed. And then the second one was doing well. I don't even know where it starts and stops, but like it kind of started going this way. And again, the leaves are so pink. It started looping around and then she hit the ceiling. It's not this, but you know what I mean. It's kind of the ceiling. So she's kind of winding. And yeah, I'm so happy because I haven't had a pink splash look this way. No, Chinghungensis hates me. Wow, I thought I was recording. I was cleaning up the mess. I'm almost done. I don't know if you can see. If you should come and zoom in, there's like this tiny little thing now. And yes, I'm still in my scrubs. Yeah, I was just gonna say like, this could be far worse. Like it can be so bad, guys. I think because the reservoirs weren't that full, it was not bad. Okay, you know, finishing it off with cavi wipes. Do y'all know cavi wipes? Okay, continuing on. I'm bringing this home for sure. I just don't know when. Maybe I should do it today. Hoya Serpens. This one is capturing my heart. It is growing so beautifully. It is the cutest little thing. And if y'all remember, there was a moment where the middle section wasn't pushing out any growth. But I think she was just kind of slow. I'm just so obsessed with like it trailing like this. The one I have at home is definitely getting too much light and I do need to repot it. I'm so in love with this one. Living in pond in a self-watering planter. It's such a beautiful plant. It really is. And I am obsessed with it. I'm gonna keep this plant forever. It is so pretty. I totally forgot I have another Hoya species Gunungating. This one is so much bigger. This is so pretty. Look at this leaf. I don't know if y'all see this. It's so much. Look at the comparison? It is so much bigger than the other leaves. What is going on there? So pretty. Again, it's not super close to the grow light that it can have the sun stressing, but yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, do you see this? So pretty. I feel like this might be prettier than the one that I have at home in Lekka. And they're in these planters that I hate. I guess I don't hate them that much because I would have transferred all my plants out of them. Gunungating looking so good. Okay, another one that I propagated, and that one's at home. And this was like the butt cut. Hoya Heuschkeliana. So look there. And I have a trellis. You can see that she pushed out these gorgeous leaves. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at these. So she's just starting over again because I made the cut down here. So pretty. This one wasn't doing a thing. And then all of a sudden she started growing so much. Hoya Insularis. She wasn't doing a thing and now look at her. So she's up against the wall. So actually like these vines are like going like that against the wall. But obviously without the support, she's kind of trailing. The one I have at home is massive. She's a beast. But this one, I'm so happy that it's taking off. Look at that. It's so pretty. Okay, we're going to be extra careful with this one because there's a new leaf. I think this is the first Anthurium I'm showing. The Moodeanum. And wow, you actually can see where the grow light is. Do you see? The ears are burnt. It was such a deep like color. Wow, the gradient kind of looks sickening. Look at this new leaf. Wow. Two of the old leaves, I think they were present when I brought it. So they're fading to a green. And yeah, I don't know. This leaf again is up against the grow light. And I honestly thought that it was gonna stay red. Because in my experience, I do see the Moodeanums hang on to red when there's a lot of light. Either way, this leaf is so pretty. Look at that. See, it's always, I'm putting plants back, it's always Jenga. Like, I don't necessarily put them in the same spot they were before, so I'm hoping this configuration's okay. Okay, Hoya Hanie. So I cut it down, I think I saved like 2-3 cuttings, and she's growing back. Look at this leaf, it's so big. But yeah, it's It looks so pretty on this cute little trellis. I got rid of my pink one completely because like she grew so massive and she bloomed so much. She's still with my mom and surprisingly still alive, but I think I didn't give enough attention to the one that was yellow over here. So I'm really happy. Okay, I have two Hoya Heuschkelianas here. The one at home is to die for, in my opinion. That one is so cute. There's one that's older than the other one, so intervariegated. Sorry, I didn't say that. Heuschkeliana intervariegated. So this one's actually younger. I don't know, I guess she's trailing more than this one. This one's kind of staying compact. It's such a beautiful, like, the leaves come out like pinky red. It's just so pretty. And depending like what the lighting is, sometimes it could be like really pink. There's so many in here. It's just so cute. I love her. Okay, and this is important. I'm so surprised. Hoya Krohniana black leaves. Obviously for the season, it's October. This is so important. Okay, I gave the one that was on the trellis to my mom. I think she's gone. Fortunately, oh well. I have this one. I think I said in a previous video, I think I didn't give this plant enough of a chance. And I really wanted to. I want to celebrate just the beauty in this plant and how fast it grows and how it branches. And you know, this one isn't getting a ton of light. Like it's kind of in the second row, as I say, getting like medium to bright and direct. And it's like this, there's so many cuttings in here. That's how I'm achieving this full look. You know, again, she's grown so much. It's one of the plants that every time I come in to work, I look at it and I'm like, damn, you're looking so good. I don't know, I just love the black leaves. It's just so stunning. So stunning. I love it. I'm gonna bring you. I don't want to move anything. I'll bring you to the plant. I'm gonna go. Whoa! Okay, wait. Let me do a check. Is my boyfriend so? Oh, she's leaving now. Okay, do you wanna walk home together? Okay, we're gonna see. Okay, I gotta do this quick, guys. This small leaf. I think when I brought her here, she had maybe only 2 leaves, but she's kind of grown. Oh my god, that tie is blocking the way. It's really showing that. I don't know if it's showing on camera, but like it's really bleached. Metallicum. Look at this. She hasn't pushed out any new leaves. And I had a situation where she was and then she broke it right off. So she's just here. She does have another leaf here that's hiding. And yeah, this is probably getting low light. Magnificum crossed with Regale. So do you see this new leaf? Even when she was brand new, she had this yellowing. Now, when you look at this leaf and you see the yellowing, usually if it's an older leaf, that's kind of just a normal thing that you would see, but it was a new leaf. So then I decided to feed it, and then she did push out this just super stunning. Do you see this? Oh, I love the Regale in this plant. The sinus is just like so big. Well, not big, but like, you know what I mean. It's like Regale vibes. And then last but not least, y'all, they tortured this plant, I swear. So this is my ZZ plant. I've been like rehabbing this plant. You can see these are new. So she's not getting a ton of light even though they appreciate it. But these leaves over here, or these stalks, I'm keeping. And yeah, I mean, look at that. All of these back here, they're newer growth. So in the time that I've come back, they've pushed out these small ones, but it's been in this planter for so long. There's no room. I do have to repot it. And unfortunately, like, I don't think it's gonna happen. So it hasn't been fed that much. So I'm actually very impressed with this new growth over here. Okay, my boyfriend said he's gonna walk home with me. Yay. Okay, so he's gonna be here in 10 minutes. Y'all, I'm so glad I went through the conditions because I usually do that at the end. So thank y'all for watching. What were y'all's favorites? What were you most impressed with? What plant do you just absolutely love? Like, I would say the Syngonium Pink Splash. Whoa, throwback. The Scindapsus, there's so many. Scindapsus, the Latifolia, the Krohniana Black. Oh my god, the Krohniana Black is everything. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna clean up a little bit. I'm gonna meet my boyfriend. And we're gonna go home. Finally, and I get to eat something. Okay, if y'all haven't noticed, I have been posting more content. I'm just kind of in that mood, And like, to be honest, if you don't know yet, what I see with my channel, what people say, from October onwards all the way to December, the AdSense is so much more than the rest of the year. So y'all know that I've now caught the travel bug. So I think I want to travel more, and that means I have to make more money. So that's why I have more content here. But I'm in a good groove right now. Like, I'm really happy to produce this content and just show you these plants. I never show these office plants. Like, y'all see a lot of it, but it's never like individual. So please like, comment, and like subscribe if you're new here, and I will join you in the next one. I'm so excited to watch these plants grow. Okay, bye guys.